could not come at a worse time.
We're seeing impacts from lockdowns and the COVID-19 pandemic to the farm economy. Agricultural trade continues to face headwinds. Farm-level cash receipts are at decade lows. Commodity prices remain depressed. Farm debt is record high. Working capital has been cut in half.
Farm Bureau and many other groups have called on Congress to take action.
Farmers and ranchers need all the assistance they can find, and USDA needs the resources for an immediate reimbursement to the Commodity Credit Corporation.
Walmsley says you can help with a phone call or email to your representatives, letting them know how crucial these Farm Bill programs are. Listen again here for more from the Voice of Agriculture, Kansas Farm Bureau.
WIPW Topeka FM News 104.9.
Welcome back to special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW. Brendan Dworzynski and Greg Akagi with you in the booth. We are awaiting the arrival of both teams tonight. The Topeka West Chargers taking the field right now at 0-1 on the season, coming off of a loss on the road against Seaman last Friday. They've got their home opener, which is also senior night tonight. They're taking on the Junction City Blue Jays, who we are still awaiting the arrival of. 3-1 on the year, winners of 3 straight. Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team tonight, our field reporter, Marco Marquez. And Marco, it's a Thursday. That's a little weird for high school football, but it is a beautiful night for the gridiron.
Oh, yeah. At a time like this, especially when you hear high school football, no matter what day of the week it is, people will show up. It's beautiful 61 degrees out here with just winds a few miles per hour coming out of the north here in the capital city. Fun fact, Brandon, I've watched a couple of state championships won on the very field from my alma mater. It's my first time being at a high school football game since I graduated. So I can tell you right now, along with the fans, I'm excited to be here as well.
We're excited for this one as well, Marco. Appreciate that. We'll be going to Marco throughout the night for some insight on the field. Also, shout out to Steve Ollinghouse, our producer engineer, back at the 580 studios on Huntoon Hill tonight. Both teams are now taking the field. They're waiting for the simulated coin toss tonight. So while we wait for that, Greg Akagi, let's get some keys to the game for Topeka West.
Key to the game. Yes, it is a short week, but just continue to work on what you're doing. You may have some mistakes. Get off to a good start. Take care of the football. I think three big keys right off the bat.
That's going to be a big one. Again, as we mentioned during our pregame coverage, Malachi Berg, the high potential starting quarterback, it's the sophomore for Topeka West, threw for 104 yards, touchdown last week, but also threw 2 interceptions. Avoiding those turnovers are going to be key in this one. And as we await the coin toss, officials still discussing things before we get started tonight, we can run through the starting lineups. First for the Topeka West Chargers along the offensive line, Elliott Cooper, Wyatt Miller, Josiah Bidwell from tackle to center, left to the middle. And then from the middle to the right, it is Jamal Shahid and Martin Gray, your guard and tackle. At quarterback, as we just mentioned, the sophomore, 6'2", 185, Malachi Berg. His starting wide receivers, Michael Glenn, Trey Alexander, and in the slot, it's Julian Marins. Tyrell Reed and sophomore Xavier Alexander are your starting running backs for Topeka West. On the other side for the Junction City offense, starting quarterback Andrew Corey, first team all-league last season, thrown for over 1,100 yards already this year with 11 touchdowns. His starting wide receivers, Christian Tabora, the senior Marcelo Bussey, as well as Trey Goggins, Russell Wilkie, and DJ Giddens, the running back and the fullback for the offense for Junction City. And we'll get you the defenses once the game gets underway here in mere moments.
Brendan, apparently they did not do the simulated toss because you've already got the officials positioning up for the kick return or kickoff.
And we can confirm for you that it will be Junction City that is kicking away. Can infer that the Blue Jays won the toss and deferred to the second half. So they will send the ball to the south end zone, moving from left to right as you listen. And it will be the Topeka West Chargers starting on offense in this one. Back to return, the deep man for the Chargers, sophomore running back Tyrell Reed. Got some assistance deep as well from Michael Glenn. It's Aiden Field to kick it away for Junction City.
You got one problem already. Okay, there's the 11th player. They only had 10 on the kick return, and number 10 actually just came onto the field. So
a late entrance by Jackson Bush running on to his up man blocking position. He's set. Aiden Field, the kicker for Junction City, has his right hand up in the air, approaches the ball, and we are underway on Thursday night in the capital city. It's a short kick, bounces at the 22, picked up by one of the up men for Topeka West. A short return past the 25, up to about the 27-yard line. Returned that time by Dontre Washington. Officially marked at the 27-yard line, and that is where the Topeka West offense will take over with a first down and 10, just 6 seconds off the clock to start this game after that kickoff.
Now, we saw some positive things out of this Junction City defense. You know, a lot of that's going to be led by one of their big defensive ends out there, and Rudy Vargas, 255-pound senior, who was disruptive against Washburn Rural last week.
First look for Berg and the Topeka West offense. One wide receiver isolated, short side right, two to the left, double barrel shotgun set. And on the first down play, it is a handoff right up the middle and a short gain on first down near the 30-yard line. Carry that time by Tyrell Reed, who in the opener for Topeka West last week against Seaman rushed for 61 yards and a touchdown, but struggled after his one big rush. His touchdown run went for 63 yards. He finished with 61. Second and long coming up.
Yeah, trying to get a good push there, but the aforementioned Rudy Vargas was the one who made the tackle coming off of the block of the left tackle.
Same formation now for Topeka West. One wide receiver to the right, two to the left. That's the wide side of the field as the Chargers move from right to left across your radio dial. Berg in the double barrel shotgun set. Barks up the signals, moves his hands slightly, puts them down, takes the hand off, or takes the snap, and is going to hand it off up the middle. A good carry, sweeping to the left. That time on the carry, it was Xavier Alexander, the sophomore running back, who had just 14 yards on the ground on 8 rushes last week, but he picks up 4 yards here on the second down carry, so it is third down and 5 coming up for the Chargers.
Yeah, good run going off and bouncing off the left side, just off the left tackle. Now third and manageable here for Topeka West. Let's see if Berg goes through the air.
They go empty set here on third down and medium. 3 to the right, 1 to the left, ball centered between the hashes. Berg now looks back to the sideline, waits for the call in from Coach Ryan Kelly. Now looks back at his center. Play clock down to 1. He just gets the snap off at the high snap. He is looking over to his left, throws to the sideline, low and away from the target, Glenn. And Glenn is able to haul it in. He got his right elbow under the ball before it hits the turf, but he's short of the line to gain at the 36-yard line. So a gain of just 2 on the pass play, and the Chargers will have to punt on their first possession. Short gain on the first pass attempt of the game by Malachi Berg.
Well, he had plenty of cushion, too. He just would extend it out and got to the first down marker on the route. He got it out an easy first down.
Russell Wilkie deep to return after the punt from Topeka West. The Junction City senior running back lets a short punt bounce at the 38-yard line. It does take a small Topeka West bounce inside the 35 to the 34-yard line of Junction City. That is where Andrew Corey and the Blue Jays offense will take over. 9:38 to go in a scoreless game here in the first quarter.
You know, last week, Brendan, Junction City had obviously a lot more success, over 300 yards passing for Andrew Corey. They have that very capable ground game. Let's see what they want to do here early on.
They're going to spread things out on first down and 10 from their own 34. 3 wide receivers to the wide side left. 1 isolated receiver is Bussy on the short side right. Man coverage look from the Topeka West defense. Snap to Corey. He bootlegs to his left on a designed rollout. Now throws it underneath, complete to Russell Wilkie at midfield. He turns it up and gets near the 45-yard line. In fact, that's exactly where they will mark him out of bounds. 21 yards on the first down crosser.
Yeah, Alexander had him defensively just about a half step behind. But Corey, that's how accurate he can be getting the ball to Wilkie.
Blue Jays right back to the line. Trips bunch to the right. High snap is bobbled and picked out of the air by the running back, DJ Giddens. He breaks to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, gets to the 40, to the 35. He's hauling it down the sideline, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Blue Jays. An unbelievable play. The snap is high. Corey can't hold it. Giddens pulls it out of the air and sprints down the field for the first score of the game.
My, there's a Topeka West defender over there who just absolutely got his bell rung. And I think it was DJ Giddens who got him, but he is up slow. The training staff for Junction City looking at him. Is that Alexander?
I have to get clarification on who that is. At first glance, it looks like it is Ja'Cory Holt.
He got flattened. And I think it was Giddens taking out the punishment on that play.
An excellent run for the score, 45 yards, and it is 6-0 Blue Jays, 9:18 to go in the first quarter. as Holt slowly walks all the way across the field from the Junction sideline to the west sideline.
You know, he's kind of rubbing at his jaw. I just wondered, he got popped. And I think it was Giddens who just lowered his shoulder and just absolutely drove him to the ground.
Aiden Field, the place kicker for Junction City, gets the hold. A low line drive kick for the extra point, and it is good. 7-0, Junction City with the lead. 9:18 to go in the first. We'll take a break. You're listening to high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Our goal here is to change lives, improve your quality of life.
Hey, Brendan.
Andrew Pope
Yes,
of
Steve.
Kansas Regenerative Medicine.
Marco's whatever volume control he needs for his on-field mic is extremely low.
KRM
I had
his own stem cells to regenerate
Marcus, can you hear me?
damaged or worn out tissue with
When you
amazing
talk
results.
into
We
for
want to get
those,
people back
just hold
to
the
the
mic
lives they
closer.
love, advance the science of stem cell therapy,
Yeah, because
improve
we had you
access
turned
to
all
this
the way up,
therapy.
and it
Stem
was
cell
still
research
kind
may
of quiet. Just make
revolutionize
sure
medicine
you're
more
right
than
on top of
anything
it.
since antibiotics. And that quote,
Yeah, I had him turned up all the way here, and I couldn't get it to get. We couldn't hear it at all.
it's only been more recently that we've been starting to tap into the potential. But I would tell you, we're just scratching the
Yeah,
tip of the
if
surface.
it's, if
really.
it's a quick
Find
thing,
out what
you're
your
far
own
enough away
amazing
from
stem
Marco,
cells
should
can
be
do
fine.
for you.
Just pull it down
Visit
real quick.
kansasrmc.com and call to set up your free consultation. Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center in Manhattan and Kansas City. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
7-0 Junction City with the lead over Topeka West, and on the ensuing kickoff after the DJ Giddens 45-yard touchdown, it's a line drive kick picked up by one of the Topeka West upmen, and he runs straight out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So a short kick turns into an excellent one for Junction City. Topeka West backed up, 9:16 to go in the first and 10 from its own 17.
Yeah, they're looking at Ja'Cory Hall, who was the injured player on the bench. Can't tell from our angle as to what they're looking at, or maybe just testing him out to see if he's got all of his wits with him right now.
First and 10 for the Chargers. Double barrel shotgun set. Ball on the far hash, moving from right to left as you listen. Berg in the gun. Takes a high snap. Will hand it off to Xavier Alexander, who cuts up the middle on a sweeping handoff. Gets just inside the far right hash and gains about a yard on first down. 2nd and 9 coming up in a 7-0 lead for Junction City.
6 yards on the night for Alexander so far. And that's one of the things we mentioned, Brendan, about depth. You lose a starter like Ja'Cory Hall, who's going to be next up? Chances are it's going to be a younger player. And as you can see, they don't have a lot of players even suited up on the sideline.
Not huge numbers for Topeka West, especially not in the COVID-19 environment. Now facing a 2nd down and 9. Again, double barrel look. Berg takes the snap, throws it back over the middle, and he's got a completed pass. It's Trey Alexander who catches it at the 23-yard line. A gain of 5 yards on 2nd and 9 will set up another 3rd down and manageable for the Chargers. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, it's good pattern. Seam route over the middle. Alexander catches it. Basically stopped right where he's at. Now, what do they do on this 3rd down, or try to get this 3rd down conversion?
Alexander is alone on the short side right of the formation. It's Julian Marin, the senior in the slot left, and Michael Glenn, the 6'3 junior, the big man of this group. He's far out to the left in the formation. Man look all across the board from the Junction City defense. Berg with 2 running backs in the shotgun. Takes a high snap. He's looking right the whole way. Throws to the sideline. Completes it to Alexander inside the 35, right at about the 34-yard line. A great pass that time by Berg to Alexander. Give him a gain of 11 and give the Chargers a 1st down.
And it was Marin's who actually caught that ball over on the right side. But it was a good pattern. Solid way to do that. Starting to put a little more tempo into this drive.
7:43 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for Junction City, but some good momentum early on here for the Topeka West Chargers on their 2nd drive of the game. Now they go single receiver to the left. It's Glenn. Full house backfield. 1st down is a handoff and sweeping to the outside. It's a great run on 1st down and 10 for the Chargers. Getting all the way past midfield. It is on the carry that time. Javion Lee. 5'11", 158 pounds, and the junior running back picks up a great gain all the way to the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 18 on 1st and 10, moving the chains once more.
Yeah, Lee bouncing out to off tackle on the left side. Got away from an ankle tackle, wasn't sure who the defender was, but he got away from there. And then once he did, used his feet, got by the first level, into the second level of that Junction City defense.
That's now 3 Chargers with a carry here in this first quarter. 3 receivers to the right in this formation. Ball on the near hash. High snap to Berg. He will hand it off to Xavier Alexander. Stutter step in the middle. Gets past the 45. Down near the 42-yard line. 5 yards on the first down carry by the sophomore, Xavier Alexander. A little stutter step right in the middle of the pile. And is able to break outside for a few extra yards.
What you like there is they've put themselves in manageable second down and third down situations, but now you've got second down after a 5-yard gain.
6:48 on the clock. Junction City up by a touchdown.
Oh, procedure call.
So they're going to wipe that play off the board. That was a late call. The teams were already back and set on the line of scrimmage when the officials' call came in. So back that ball up all the way to the Topeka West 48-yard line. And instead of a second down and 5, it's 1st and 15 for the Chargers. 2 wide receivers right, 2 backs in the backfield. Reed is the deep man. Xavier Alexander just to the right of Berg. Berg barks up the signal, takes the snap. He's looking left the whole way. Throws a comeback near the sideline, and he's able to complete it to Michael Glenn back to the 46-yard line. So they gain most of that yardage back, a completion of 6, second down and 9 coming up for the Chargers.
Second catch of the night for Glenn for 8 yards. Small chunks, didn't have to get it all back. Still got 2 downs to work with.
Same exact formation for Topeka West. Ball on the near hash. They tried the hard count, almost were able to draw Judah Peterson, the nose guard, off into the neutral zone, but he's able to get back in time. Now Berg takes another snap, a speed option to the right. He's going to keep it, turns it up to the 40, to the 35, 30, and he bounces out to the right sideline. Gets through 1 tackle and is down near the 20. Malachi Berg, the sophomore quarterback, on the quarterback keeper from the speed option, gets Topeka West down near the red zone. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. 5:43 to go in the first.
Great read option, 24 yards by Malachi Berg on the gain. Boy, once he read it, got through that first level. Smart play. They went out to the pitch man, so that gave him that lane that he had to get through there, and once he did, he was able to get the big chunk yardage.
High football IQ from the sophomore quarterback. Now on 1st and 10, he's got 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 flanking him on either side, 1 wide receiver left, 2 to the right. Berg now will turn around, look back to the sideline, waiting for the play, but the play clock is all the way down to 5. It's down to 4. Now the snap to Berg is a handoff on 1st down to Xavier Alexander. Spins through 1 tackle, breaks his way through another arm tackle, gets inside the 20. There is a flag on the play, and forward progress is stopped at the 19. It will be a gain of 3 for Alexander, pending the penalty.
Yeah, that was thrown from the backside of that play.
Looks like there might have been a signal for a face mask in the pile.
Yeah, that's normally when you throw it from that backside. And it looks like they're talking to a Topeka High player.
We'll get the official call here. And it is going to go against Topeka West. So not what it was the initial look that was a face mask against the defense.
But it occurred right near where the stop was.
Block at the back. Number 52 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's the right tackle, Martin Gray, who commits a block in the back. So that will take Topeka West from the 19-yard line back to the 29. So they'll lose 10 yards from the spot on that penalty. So mark off decent yardage. Overall, a loss of 9 from the original line of scrimmage. So 1st down and 19. Ball at the 29-yard line. Pardon me, called that a 1st down and 17, and now we have a timeout called by Topeka West. They were all out of sorts. They need to figure things out. We'll take the timeout with them. 7-0 Junction City over Topeka West. You're listening to high school football coverage on 580 WIBW, presented by Invista Credit Union.
Who said that? Me.
First and 17 for Topeka West. The snap to Malachi Berg. Pumps short left. Now goes deep. He's looking for the end zone, and he just overshoots his target. Keontae Parker was streaking free down the left side numbers, but Berg put a little bit too much air under it. It falls incomplete in the end zone, and it brings up a 2nd down and 17 for Topeka West. A great idea, though, Greg, right after the timeout, going for the deep shot. They just can't quite execute.
Yeah, it was a smart play to be able to do. If you're going to go long or take a shot, do it on 1st down like they did there. Now, go back to the strategy of you don't have to get all 17 or 18 yards to get the 1st down.
Junction City up 7-0, 5:05 to go in the opening period. Sweeping hand up to Tyrell Reed, going from left to right, and he is swallowed up in the backfield. Back at the 31-yard line, call it a loss of 2 for the Chargers. They tried going to the ground on 2nd and long, Andy Reid style, and they're not able to move the chains anywhere. In fact, they're going to move backwards 2 yards. 3rd and forever coming up for Topeka West.
Yeah, their pursuit towards Tyrell Reed, boy, they were right on him. Reed couldn't even turn the corner to try and get the extra yardage. Now you're facing a 3rd and long, even longer 3rd and 20.
This is a Junction City team with a ton of team speed. Javion Lee goes in motion from left to right. 3 wide receivers right, 2 to the left. Ball in the far hash with an empty set. Berg thinks about taking the snap. Now will back off, look to the sideline. Play clock is down to 3. Berg again calls up the signals, takes the snap. He's looking downfield, pumps once to the right. Now he's got to evade to the right, tries to get out of pressure. He's turning it upfield, and he has to take it almost out of bounds, but he's able to stay in after ducking a tackle. He gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. Malachi Berg, it looked like he was going to dip out at about the 31. Instead, he turns all the way upfield and gets down near the 20. Call it the 21 where he stepped out. 4th down, but much more manageable from the 21, where the 12.5 is the yard to gain.
Yeah, and they're not bringing in any field goal team at all, so definite 4-down territory here. But you're right, Brendan. Smart play by Malachi Berg. You talked about high IQ. He knew what to do once he got towards the sideline, turned it up, got that extra yardage.
Call it approximately 4th down and 9. 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the short side right. Berg takes a high snap. He's looking left, throws it down the pattern, and he just misses his target. It was Glenn right on the 10-yard line on the number. But the throw is a little too far to the outside and a little too low, and Topeka West will turn it over on downs after the incompletion. A 10-play drive. They move the ball well down the field, Greg, but they can't cash in, and they stall out deep in Junction City territory.
You know, and the issue there is, and I'm sure they're going to look at it on film, is where you think Berg thinks the receiver is going to be, or where that ball should be placed properly, too. And that's something got to work on with the young quarterback.
Now Junction City from its own 21-yard line, facing a 1st down and 10 with 4 minutes to go in the opening period of the game, leading by 7. Motion comes on 1st down. It's a sweeping handoff to the outside, carried by TJ Jones. He gets to the sideline, tries turning back, now turns it up the field at about the 15. He was way back behind the line of scrimmage, and he's eventually marked out at the 19. It's a miracle. He only lost 2 yards, ran all the way to the right sideline, tried turning back, then went back to the sideline, and he cost his team 2 yards. 2nd and 12 coming up.
And great pursuit by the Charger defense, really not being able to let TJ Jones turn. Anything that goes to the outside like that, do not let that receiver, running back, turn the corner. And they did a great job of holding it down to a 2-yard loss.
Ball's on the right hash as the Blue Jays move from left to right, trips to the left. Corey takes the snap, and he rolls to the left on a design. Now he's throwing deep down the sideline, looking for a man. He completes the pass up to the 40-yard line. A diving catch on the outside. What a throw by Corey. He hooks up with Trey Goggins deep down the field for a 1st down for Junction City, all the way to the 41-yard line. Call that a gain of 38 yards.
Boy, they love that play. And here's Junction City right back up to the line.
Blue Jays hurrying. Now they've got 3 wide receivers to the wide side right after the play. Turn around, sweep hand up to DJ Giddens, turns it up at the 40, gets to the 35, and is pulled down by the ankle. That is a physical tackle that time by Topeka West to bring him down. Tackle made by Elliott Cooper, the junior defensive lineman.
Looks like they're going to go a little up-tempo after a gain of 7 by Giddens.
Solid gain. DJ Giddens has been effective so far in this one. Already has a 45-yard touchdown run. Just over 3 minutes left in the first. Junction City with the ball, up 7 and on the move once again. And once again, they've got 3 receivers to the right and the running back Giddens to the right of Corey. They'll take a handoff, go up the middle, breaks through one tackle, and he is once again hit by Cooper and dropped inside the 30. That's enough to move the chains up to the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 and another first down.
DJ Giddens, a senior. Russell Wilkie, a senior. Dangerous players in the backfield for Junction City.
Blue Jays not worrying about the clock, hurrying back to the line before they get the play call in. Same formation, 3 wide receivers, wide side right. Corey takes the snap, and he'll roll to the right that time. Throws to the end zone. He wants Marcelo Bussey, and he just overshoots him in the back right corner of the end zone. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Blue Jays. Another good idea. They had the man beat on defense, but the throw just a little too far for Andrew Corey.
Oh, boy. They had Russell Wilkie on a corner route, skinny corner. He was wide open right in the middle of the field. He didn't see him. He had his eyes locked on that far receiver out to the outside, but Wilkie was wide open in the middle of the field.
Both quarterbacks so far in this first quarter have missed a man in the end zone with an overthrow. Now a 2nd down and 10 for the Blue Jays. It's a bubble screen to the outside, and Russell Wilkie, he catches at the line of scrimmage, turns up to the 25-20, and gets escorted out of bounds in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Gain of 8 on the 2nd down bubble screen. 3rd down and short coming up for the Blue Jays.
Second reception for Wilkie, 29 yards. Far under, Brendan, his average from last week when he had big yardage gains receiving-wise.
7 catches, 191 yards this past Friday in the win over Washburn Rural. Snap to Corey on 3rd and short. Give to DJ Giddens, who puts his head down, puts his shoulder down, burrows right to the line, and picks up a first down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, and the Blue Jays continue to move the chains in chunks.
Big push along that offensive front. Boy, by the time he got to the line, the Junction City front already was 2-3 yards pushing that defensive line back.
Junction City moving quickly, already up by a touchdown. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. 2 running backs in the pistol in the backfield with Corey. 3 wide receivers to the left. Corey now rolls to the left on a design. He's looking for the end zone. Instead, he'll throw it underneath and completes it at the 10. A short gain. No, they're going to say incomplete. It was Marcelo Bussey. He wasn't able to hold the ball as he goes to the ground. It's a drop. It's incomplete, and it's 2nd down for Junction City.
What we saw last week, too, was they liked that rollout to where they fled one side or the other. And that time, still throwing against your body, not an easy thing for a right-handed quarterback if they're rolling left. And same would be for a left-handed quarterback rolling to the right. And that time, maybe just a little too much on a down angle by Corey. Bussey almost had the catch, but could not come up with it.
Corey now on 2nd down and 10 as the 2x2 wide receiver set, 2 on either side of the formation. Corey takes it, short roll to the left, pressure comes, he spins away from Julian Marins. He continues to roll, fires to the end zone, completed pass, touchdown, Junction City, right in the middle of the end zone. An excellent throw that time by Andrew Corey. This time he's able to hook up with his target, Bussey. That's a 14-yard touchdown, and the Blue Jays are up 13-0.
Yeah, and give credit to Corey. He got away from a defender for Topeka West who could have gotten him behind the line of scrimmage, but got away, was able to find his man open, that being Bussey, for the touchdown.
Aiden Field on for the extra point attempt to make it a 14-point game. Steps into it. The kick is tipped and no good. That is the 2nd week in a row that Junction City is at an extra point blocked. It stays 13-0 with 1:51 to go in the first quarter. We'll take another break. You're listening to Special Edition High School Football coverage on 580 WIBW, presented by Invista Credit Union.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free 1-day shipping and over 160.
Welcome back to Hummer Sports Park. Junction City with a 13-0 lead over Topeka West. A 13-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Corey to Marcelo Bussey extended the lead for the Blue Jays. Now on the ensuing kickoff, it's a short one, bounces at the 22. And here comes the return for Topeka West, and a good return this time by Jordan Mark. Mark bounces to the outside at the 40-yard line, breaks through an arm tackle, gets to midfield. Here's a convoy at the 35, jumps over one tackler, and he trips down all the way at the 20-yard line. What an unbelievable return for Jordan Mark. The 5'9 sophomore breaks through 3 tackles down the near sideline and sets up Topeka West with great field position late in the first quarter.
You talked about the little things. What a great run back, and that was effort. A lot of effort, a lot of great effort, a lot of smart effort, and now that gives Topeka West great field possession inside the red zone already. 1st and 10 at the Blue Jay 19-yard line.
That may be the spark that this Charger team needed late here in the opening period. They moved the ball well to start their last drive before stalling out. They have another chance to score here. Like Greg said, already in the red zone with 1:36 to go in the period. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, 2 running backs in the backfield. First down is a sweeping handoff to Javion Lee, who cuts back up the middle and fights his way down to the 16-yard line. A carry of 3 for Lee, who has been active, just like Alexander, just like Reed, here in this first quarter. They like to mix it up and go running back by committee with these tailbacks.
And that's what you like to see. Lee with an 18-yard gain. Of course, Malachi Berg, 2 quarterback runs, has 36 yards. Alexander has 3 carries. Tyrell Reed has 2 carries.
Berg waits for the signal in from the sideline. Exactly 1 minute left in the first. Junction City leading 13-0, but Topeka West knocking on the door with a 2nd and 7. Berg in the pistol. Looking left after he takes the snap. Now has to bounce back to the right. He'll cut it upfield instead, keeping it. Gets inside the 15. He dives ahead instead of sliding. That might credit him an extra yard. And see where the ball is placed down officially. Looks like it is being marked at the 18-yard line.
Or 13.
13-yard line, pardon me. I got my
right.
multiples of 5 here mixed up. So call it the 13-yard line. So a good gain that time to set up another 3rd down and manageable.
And they do have to snap the ball before the end of the quarter. About a 2.5-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
Chargers break the huddle. They're down to 8 on the play clock. Call it 7, call it 6. Berg, the double barrel shotgun set, 3 receivers to the right. Another handoff. This time, Xavier Alexander up the middle, gets to the 10, pushes through a pile, gets down near the 5. The sophomore pushes ahead all the way to officially the 6-yard line. A gain of 7 on 3rd down and 3. And that is how our first quarter comes to an end. Junction City up 13-0, but Topeka West is charging down the field. We'll be back after this. You're listening to high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Hey, a quick question.
Your former head football coach.
Welcome back to Hummer Sports Park. Brendan Dworzinski and Greg Akagi with you. Marco Marquez, our sideline reporter, on special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9. We're starting off the second quarter. 12 minutes on the clock. Ball at the 6-yard line. The Junction City 6-yard line after a 7-yard gain by Xavier Alexander for Topeka West. And the Chargers are knocking on the door, trailing by 13, but they've got their best scoring chance yet early on in this game. They come out with an empty set to start the quarter. 2 wide receivers to the short side left, 3 to the right. And we've got a flag on the play. The initial movement looked like it came from the defense. And an immediate substitution after that flag comes in. And it is encroachment. Joseph Vincent, the nose guard, the guilty party, he heads right off to the sideline after the flag comes in. So from the 6, move the ball to the 3.
99 yards total offense for Topeka West in the first quarter, 142 yards of total offense for Junction City in the first quarter.
This drive started at the plus 19 for Topeka West after a remarkable return by Jordan Mark on the kickoff after Junction City's last touchdown. First down and goal from the 3-yard line for Topeka West. Pistol set, 3 wide receivers right. Speed option for Malachi Berg. The sophomore turns it up, and he is bottled up down at about the line of scrimmage. Tried to push ahead through defenders. He didn't quite bounce it out far enough to get space to run with. So instead, it's a gain of nothing on first and goal. Second and goal from the 3 coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If you're going to run speed option or any type of option like that where you're keeping the football, well, you got to get out there and create space. There were still plenty that were clogging up where he took the path, tried to get the path toward the end zone.
The 2-back pistol being employed by the Chargers again. This time, though, a receiver lines up to the left with 2 to the right. Ball centered between the hashes as the Chargers move to the south end zone, moving from left to right across your radio dial. Snap to Berg. Berg, quick throw to the outside, looking for a man, and a great tackle on the outside. The stop made for Junction City by Chaz Ruffin. The safety gets to the outside and throws down Julian Marins in the flat. It's a gain of about 1.5 yards at most. Third and goal from inside the 2 coming up for the Chargers.
Yeah, he got out there, and that was a great stop. Hustle play, good tackle. Marins really couldn't do anything, and Ruffin, give credit to him. He got out there quick to get the tackle.
10:45 on the clock in the second quarter. 13-0 Junction City. Topeka West trying to poke a hole in that lead. Full house backfield, Berg under center. He gives the handoff, cutting up the middle. Topeka West into the end zone. Touchdown Chargers. They cut it to a 1-score game. Xavier Alexander punches it right through the defensive line, gets into the end zone. 13-6, Blue Jays with the lead, but Topeka West is on the board.
Yeah, that's when you felt like you get it at the 19-yard line that they needed to score. They needed to get points, and indeed, that's what they did. And just little things like that, being able to get that score off of a great kick return.
And the extra point kick is up, and it is good. Malachi Berg, the quarterback, doing it all. He kicks the extra point as well. And now the lead is just 13-7 for Junction City. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Special Edition High School Football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right...
Welcome back to Hummer Sports Park. Topeka West cuts into the Junction City lead. It's now just 13-7. 10:32 to go in the second quarter, following a 3-minute, 4-second drive that lasted for 6 plays and ended with a Xavier Alexander touchdown run from 2 yards out. And the ensuing kickoff is a line drive that bounces out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Not what head coach Ryan Kelly wanted out of his special teams. So Junction City will start its next possession with good field position after the kick out of bounds.
You know, what we talked about before the game, Brendan, is finding that positives, building on those positives. Well, you just had 2 on that drive, the long kick return and the fact that you scored off of that long kick return. Now it's more on your defense as to, hey, can we get them a stop? Haven't been able to stop them as of yet with those 2 drives, as they will start on their own 35 with this very, very dangerous offense of Junction City.
Ball at the 35, moving from right to left as you listen. Quarterback Andrew Corey in the shotgun. His running back is DJ Giddens, flanking him to the right. Giddens already has a touchdown run in this game, and Corey already has a touchdown pass. And we've got a timeout called by Topeka West. We will keep it here. Still 10:32 to go until halftime on special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW. A reset of your broadcast team. Brendan Dworzinski and Greg Akagi with you. Our field reporter is Marco Marquez. Steve Ollinghouse, our producer-engineer back at the 580 studios on Huntoon Hill. And Greg, we have to go back to this last touchdown drive by Topeka West. Yes, they had a short field, but it's important for this team as they continue to develop and continue to grow to capitalize on mistakes by the other team. They take advantage of a good kick return that time. We're able to punch it in. You have to get some positive momentum out of that.
You definitely have to. And I think just because of the fact that you sit there and go, can we, Ryan Kelly has to ask, can we score in the red zone? Well, you just got the nice answer right there, starting that drive out. And I think that's just some of those little things. Boy, you just start to build that confidence. You start to build that confidence for these players to know, hey, we can go toe-to-toe. Right now we're standing toe-to-toe with a very good team in Junction City to be able to do. Once again, though, can you sustain that momentum? Can this defense at Topeka West get a 3-and-out or stop them so they have to punt the football?
Junction City back out on the field after the second timeout of the first half used by Topeka West. 3 wide receivers line up to the wide side right. Snap to Corey, and he rolls out to that side. He's got plenty of room to roll. Throws it deep down the sideline. Hits Russell Wilkie at the 35, and he is gone. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Blue Jays. And just like that, the quick strike Junction City offense takes advantage and is able to get 6 more points on the board. Drive takes just 11 seconds, just 1 play, and it is 19-7 Blue Jays.
Boy, they rolled out right this time, and Corey does a good job of keeping the football. Well, that brought up the defenders, and unfortunately, they left Wilkie rolling down the sidelines, streaking down the sidelines. That's all Corey needed once he got the steps. And Wilkie, another big reception for a touchdown, 65 yards, taking 1 play.
And Junction City is going to go for 2, aligning the ball on the near side left hash. Corey takes the snap, looking over the middle, and he completes the pass to his running back, Russell Wilkie. Add 2 more on the board for the Blue Jays. 21-7 with 10:21 left until halftime. A 1-play drive, the second week in a row that Junction City has a 65-yard touchdown pass. And the Blue Jays, right after Topeka West cuts into that lead and makes it just a 1-score game, they extend it back to 2 again.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Russell Wilkie with, get my math right here, 3 receptions, 94 yards. He's going to have close to 300 yards receiving in the last 2 games. When you look at that coming in, 441 yards receiving on 26 receptions. He's enhancing his average right at the moment, which is just outstanding. He is so dangerous as that receiver, as the running back and receiver. And, as we mentioned, he's such a good complement to DJ Giddens in that backfield, and so dangerous, as we have seen here in the last couple of weeks.
A pair of all-league first-teamers from 2019 hooking up on that one. Last week, they hooked up plenty of times. 346 passing yards for Andrew Corey on just 21 attempts last week. 7 completions for Russell Wilkie for 191 yards, and they are working that connection again against the secondary for Topeka West. But the Chargers will get the ball back. 10:21 to go until the break. They'll return this kickoff from Aiden Field and move from left to right. It is a squib kick and fielded immediately by Zane Mohan. The 5'8" junior linebacker dives on the squib kick at the 46-yard line. A tremendous heads-up play by the up man for the Chargers. And now Topeka West, once again, for the second drive in a row, is going to get sensational field position.
Yeah, smart play. Junction City, maybe a little fear of not wanting another big return once again, decides to go with the squib kick. And now, good field position once again at their own 46.
Full house backfield on first down for Topeka West. It's Javion Lee as the deep man, 1 wide receiver on either side of the formation. Play fake by Berg. Now he's loading up, throwing deep down the field for Michael Glenn. He overshoots his target, though, and he is intercepted deep down the field. Javon George, his 4th interception of the season, and now just the 5th game of the year for Junction City, and the Blue Jays take back over just 1 play and 9 seconds after scoring their last touchdown.
Blanket coverage there, and boy, Javon George just read it all the way and was able to easily get that interception.
Picked that ball off deep in Junction City's own territory. It's first down and 10 from the 9-yard line with 10-11 to go until the break. Corey and the offense back out on the field. Trips receivers to the right. 1 receiver to the left. Ball centered between the 2 hashes. DJ Giddens, the running back, to the left of Corey in the gun. And he will take a handoff on first down. Is grabbed by the shoulder pads and thrown to the ground at the 11. A gain of just 2. They tried to empty out the box with a run from the spread formation, but Topeka West was there to make the play. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Blue Jays.
Going back to that no huddle. Going a little more up-tempo.
Corey looks to the sideline for the play call. 3 wide receivers now to the left. That's where Giddens stands in relation to Corey as well. Quick snap and a quick throw to the outside, and Bussey. Bussey makes a move, gets to the outside, but is grabbed by the waistband and pulled down right at the 20-yard line. A gain of 9, but it's enough for a first down for the Blue Jays. Junction City up 21-7, 9:36 left in the second quarter. Still the no-huddle look for Randall Zimmerman's offense. And once again, it's 3 wide receivers to the left of the quarterback, Corey. This time, though, his tailback, Giddens, will stand to his right. 1 wide receiver on the right as well. Another first down handoff to Giddens. He's got a huge hole at the middle. Gets to the 30, gets to the 35 and breaks the tackle to the 45-50. Gets into Topeka West territory near the 45-yard line. A great run by Giddens. He gets into plus territory, marked out at the 44-yard line. Call that a gain of 36 on 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays.
So quick, right through there. And got through that first level, got to the second level. Over 100 yards rushing.
Junction City in a hurry. Quick snap and a quick throw to the outside, and Marcelo Bussey, who gets inside the 40-yard line down to the 37. 7 yards on a quick play, trying to catch the Topeka West defense napping. And once again, the Blue Jays are running. 3 receivers wide side left, 1 to the right. High snap to Corey. He goes with the bubble screen outside to Wilkie, catches it back at the 40-yard line, jukes 1 man, but isn't able to get out of a sensational tackle from Javion Lee. Lee once again with the tackle around the hips at the 34-yard line. That is a great stop that time. And Junction City hurrying to the line after the
2-yard gain.
2-yard gain. That
no, they gave him first down.
Yeah, they gave him credit for the first down.
3-yard gain then.
1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. 8:30 on the clock. Already up by 14 points. Corey now slowing things down as his trips bunch moves from the left to the right. Giddens on the right as well. Corey barks out the signals and will roll to the right on the snap. Looking down the field, throws to the sideline, completes a pass to Wilkie at the 20. He gets down to about the 16-yard line where he is ruled out of bounds. Called to 17. His back foot touched out first. Another big gainer. Call it 17 more yards through the air once again. And now Andrew Corey, Greg, is in a rhythm.
182 yards passing already.
Takes the first down snap, hands it off, going up the middle. It's Giddens again. Giddens fights his way through traffic to about the 11-yard line. 6 yards on the first down carry.
7 carries, 107 yards for Giddens. Corey, 9 of 11 passing, 182 yards. And Wilkie already 114 yards receiving.
A 2-touchdown lead for Junction City, and the Blue Jays are trying to add even more onto that. They are moving at a rapid pace. Down to the 11-yard line of Topeka West, facing a 2nd down and 4. Snap to Corey. Another handoff. Giddens right into the line. He is met instantly, but is able to fight his way forward for extra yardage down near the 7-yard line. And if that first spot is accurate, that's enough for a first down for the Blue Jays. They are going to measure it. Quick substitution for Topeka West as well. Robbie Malcolm, one of the senior starters in the trenches for the Chargers, had his helmet pop off. And after they realigned the ball, the run was just about a half a yard shy by Giddens. So 3rd down and inches for the Blue Jays, under 7 to go until the break. 2 wide receivers to the left, tight end left as well. Pistol set with 2 running backs for the quarterback, Corey. Corey takes a high snap, hands it off up the middle. Giddens gets it. Giddens works his way down to the 5-yard line. There is a flag on the play from the far sideline, however.
It's going to be probably a neutral zone infraction thrown by the sideline official.
A gain of 4 if it stands. And no, it is a penalty against the offense for an illegal shift instead.
2-minute motion, probably.
Topeka West will happily take that miscue by Junction City, which will back the Blue Jays up to the 14-yard line. Pardon me, they're going to back that up to the 11-yard line. Now they pick up the ball once again, and they're moving it forward again. We've got some confusion from approximately everyone in the entire stadium. Now they walk it off, place it back on the 11-yard line.
Back on the 11-yard line.
So after all of that gets sorted out, it is still a 3rd down and 5 for the Blue Jays. Snap to Corey. Fakes the handoff going left, now rolls back to the right on the play fake. He gets tripped up and dropped for a loss. And who else, Greg? It's Malachi Berg, the quarterback, the defensive end, the kicker. He's doing it all in this game for Topeka West, and he picks up a sack on 3rd down for the Topeka West defense.
Yeah, loss of 8 on the play. Boy, they got the pocket collapsed off that right side. Corey tried to turn, but Berg was right there. And now it's 4-down territory, 4th and 12. They can still get a 1st down. Going to take a little length, though.
Junction City needs to get to the 7-yard line for a 1st down, facing a 4th and 12 from the 19. Corey in the gun, 3 wide receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. The ball is on the far right hash. 1 single receiver is to the right as well. 5:55 to go until halftime. Corey takes the snap, rolls left, throws to the end zone, has a man open. It's Russell Wilkie running parallel to the goal line, turns it up, gets into the paint, touchdown, Junction City. And the Blue Jays extend their lead once again. 5:48 to go until halftime. 27-7, Junction City leads Topeka West.
Man, it is pretty when they are going like that. Going on that corner or side pattern or out pattern. Wilkie just taking it right down the line, the goal line, and was able to get the touchdown, his 2nd touchdown receiving tonight.
And the Blue Jays are going for 2 again. They're stacking 3 receivers to the far side, right side of the field, all lined up on the hash. Bussey, Tabora, and Wilkie all lined up in that direction.
2 on the play clock.
Giddens in the backfield. Quick snap to Corey. They get it off just in time. Corey will roll for the right corner. Looking. He's going to take it himself. Reaches for the goal line, and he is in. 2 points converted for the 2nd drive in a row, and the Junction City lead is extended to 29-7 with less than 6 minutes to go until halftime. And Greg, that is what this Junction City offense can do to you. You work, you fight, you try as hard as you can to finally get some points on the board, and then they strike back instantly.
Instantly is indeed the case, and already Junction City, 200-yard passer, 100-yard rusher, 100-yard receiver. Russell Wilkie, 5 receptions for 116 yards, actually.
So with 116 yards already in this game, that's over 550 for the season for Wilkie. We're just in the first half of week 5. Topeka West will get another chance to score here before the break, trailing by 22. They've moved the ball well a couple of times. However, their last drive lasted just 1 play when Malachi Berg was picked off deep down the field by Javon George of Junction City.
Correction. Did not have the touchdown reception. Wilkie now 6 receptions for 133 yards receiving.
A sensational season for the senior for Junction City. High kick over to the sideline. It is muffed, eventually picked up by Topeka West. Returned this time by Dontre Washington. Weaves around a couple of Blue Jays. Has to worm and squirm all the way up to the 20-yard line. Maybe a few extra inches beyond that as well. 5:38 left on the clock in the second. Topeka West down by 22.
Boy, what do you do here if you're Ryan Kelly? Your last play going deep Berg's pass was intercepted. You want to move it down the field. You still have plenty of time in the half here. I don't think you shouldn't abandon the run.
Yeah, with 5:38 to go, that is plenty of time. The one touchdown drive so far for Topeka West lasted 3 minutes, 4 seconds. They also had a drive where they turned it over on downs in 10 plays that lasted 5:16. Have one timeout left as well. Now on 1st down and 10 from the shotgun set. It's a first down handoff to Tyrell Reed. Gets off one tackler. Pardon me, that's Javion Lee who takes it. Bounces just outside of his left tackle and is dropped after a gain of about 2. 2nd down and 8 now for Topeka West as the clock continues to wind.
Yeah, one thing Topeka West has been doing, taking most of the play clock. It's probably hasn't snapped the ball with more than 5 seconds left on the play clock. So they've been eating up the time.
Trying to make sure that they have the right signals on every play. They're able to move the ball without any extra miscues. And as the play clock goes down to 10, we're under 5 minutes left in the period. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left, ball on the far left hash for Topeka West. Berg throws it outside, completes the pass to the left. It's Michael Glenn who grabs it at the 26-yard line. A solid gain of 3 yards, which makes it a 3rd down and 5 for Topeka West. The clock continues to wind as they bring some reinforcements on the field at wide receiver.
Berg is 6 of 9 passing, but for just 28 yards. Most of his passes, most pass completions have been of the short variety. He's had at least 2 long balls he's attempted that have gone incomplete.
Wide variation on the depth of target for the sophomore quarterback. 3rd down and 5, play clock down to 5 as the snap comes into Berg. He looks to the left. Now has to step up in the pocket, spins around and gets popped back at the 25-yard line. That will go for a loss of 1. I think Berg hit the circle button a little too early, and he gets hit by one of the outside linebackers for Junction City and will lose a yard. 4th down coming up for the Chargers.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Tried to spin off that tackle, but they had pursuit. And that's one thing Junction City has done, is had good pursuit so far today, and they force them on a 3 and out.
And now a dangerous situation for the Topeka West defense with 3:33 to go in the second quarter. They have to go back out on the field against the quick strike offense of Junction City. Punt coming. Wilkie is the deep man once again for the Blue Jays. Snap comes in. It's low. Good enough, though.
Blocked.
And the kick is blocked by Javon George of Junction City. A scoop, a score, touchdown Blue Jays. Javon George comes in completely unblocked, gets into the punter, Gavin Chavez, blocks it, picks it up, and is able to take it in for 6. The Junction City lead is now up to 28, 35-7 with 3:18 to go until halftime.
Yeah, absolutely untouched. No chance for Topeka West there. Got the block clean, stayed on his feet, picked it up, ran it in for the scoop and score.
Aiden Field out to kick the extra point for the Blue Jays. The last 2 times, Junction City has gone for 2 and has made it both times. This to make it a 29-point game. Field waits, approaches, puts the right boot into it. This time gets plenty of air under it. It is up, and it is good. 3:18 to go until halftime. And just like that, you want to talk about a quick strike. How about a blocked punt returned for a touchdown by Junction City? A 29-point deficit, 36-7 to go here in this first half. And again, Greg, we talked so much during the pregame show about progress and showing that. And I truly think that Topeka West showed a lot of that early on in this game, especially right between the end of the first quarter and start of the second. But things have kind of unraveled here as the second quarter has progressed.
Yeah, and it's the simple things like that where, especially on the punt team, making sure you've got those outside guys, because if they're coming, you got to have them covered. You cannot let someone like a Javon George or whoever it might be get a clean shot against your punter like that, because 99 times out of 100, they're going to get back there and they're going to punt, or they're going to block the punt, and it's going to end up like it did there, a scoop and score for a touchdown.
So Topeka West, once again, will get possession of the ball. 3:18 on the clock in the second quarter as Field lines it up to kick it away from the Junction City 40-yard line. Aligned along the far right hash. The kick going toward the north end zone. That's right to left as you listen. Field takes a slow approach. And we'll kick a spinning line drive that bounces at the 30. Again, muffed, and a dive on it by Dontre Washington. Has to slide down and cover that one up. And Topeka West will get it at the 23-yard line. That is where it is officially marked out.
Now, one bad thing and one good thing on that, the fact you're right, yeah, they muffed it. Dontre Washington, though, did the smart thing. Once he realized he wasn't going to be able to pick it up, just dive on it. Don't try to pick it up and try to run with it, because chances are it's going to make matters worse if you're able to do that.
There's no doubt about it, Greg. If there's at least one positive to take away from this first half, the football IQ on display from Topeka West has been at a very high level. The execution just hasn't quite matched it yet.
Yep.
Now, first down and 10 for the Chargers from their own 23-yard line. Double barrel shotgun set, and on first down, it's a handoff to one of those backs, Tyrell Reed. Reed gets popped, might have lost the ball as he gets tackled at the 25-yard line. The Blue Jays say they have it. They come running out of the pile with the ball. Another turnover for Topeka West, and at the 25-yard line in plus territory, the Blue Jays take over, already up by 29.
Unfortunately, of course, for the positives, you hope they start to pile onto each other. But when the negatives start to pile on each other, they pile onto each other. So you have a punt block, and you have a fumble, and you give Junction City great field position still with 3:06 left to go first half.
As the old saying goes, when it rains, it pours, and right now,
it's a monsoon.
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
Yeah.
Typhoon, we also would have accepted.
Typhoon.
First and 10 for Junction City from the Topeka West 25, already up by 29 points. Andrew Corey, the senior quarterback, who's having a sensational game. Behind center in the gun, his running back Giddens to his left. Russell Wilkie comes in motion, now bounces back from left to right. Corey takes a high snap, looks over the middle, completes a pass to Nathan Green. Nathan Green between the hashes to the 10, to the 5. He is eventually gang tackled by a group of Chargers at the 5-yard line. 20 yards on the first down pass play from Corey to his tight end Green.
I don't think we called his name last week, so seam route by the tight end, and Nathan Green, nice reception, dragging people in traffic, getting it first and goal at the 5-yard line.
First catch of the season for the senior tight end for Junction City. Stands at 6'1", 205. He's got plenty of size to work over the middle. First and goal for the Blue Jays, 2:35 on the clock. Russell Wilkie comes in motion into the backfield. Corey takes a snap, throws it back over the middle. Touchdown, Blue Jays. And who else? It's Nathan Green. 2 catches in a row, his first 2 of the season, and he cashes in with his first touchdown of the year. 42-7, Junction City with the lead.
Yeah, they're worried about Wilkie in the backfield. And then Green able to slip out right in the middle. Once again, basically the same route. And he was able to get the touchdown.
Aiden Field getting ready for the extra point. Has this one possibly partially tipped again? It takes an awkward spin through the uprights, but it is good. So tack on one more point. It is now a 36-point deficit. 43-7. Junction City with the lead over Topeka West. 2:29 left until halftime. Andrew Corey now in this first half has 4 touchdown passes. He had 11 on the season coming into tonight through the first 5 weeks. Give him now 15.
How about 12 of 14 passing, 226 yards, and those 4 touchdowns? I don't know what I don't know the math on the QBR, but that QBR would be very, very high right at the moment.
And how about this? No time of possession advantage needed for Junction City in this one. The Blue Jays have 4 scores of less than 40 seconds. A 20-second drive, an 11-second, a 37-second, and a blocked kick.
Blocked kick.
So Topeka West, once again, still with 1 timeout and a little time to try to score once more before halftime. Deep to return, Tyrell Reed and Michael Glenn for the Chargers. As the Blue Jays get ready to send this one away. Backup kicker into the game. Danny Gordon sends it away for Junction City. And once again, on the return, it's Jordan Mark, who already has a long return in this game. And again, he does a good job of weaving through traffic to get to the 31-yard line. So decent field position for the Chargers as they take over and try to chip away at the 36-point Junction City lead before we go into the halftime break. And we should note at this juncture, given the score, that 45 points at any point in the second half will trigger the mercy running clock. And even if the score dips back under 45 as the margin, the clock will continue to run. It's just 36 for now. And Topeka West takes over with the ball. Double barrel shotgun set, ball between the hashes, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Malachi Berg takes the snap, will hand it off to Xavier Alexander, who weaves through 1 tackle, some fancy footwork. He's able to prance ahead to the 35-yard line, a gain of 4 for the sophomore running back on 1st and 10.
Been tough sledding, 6 carries, 21 yards on the night for Alexander.
Had 8 carries for 14 last week, and now the Chargers trying to run to the line in less than 14 seconds. They're back at the line of scrimmage, facing a 2nd down and 6. Berg takes the snap. He's got a clean pocket. Will dump it outside to Alexander, and Xavier Alexander isn't able to hold it. It bounces off of his right palm down to the ground and incomplete. Just a little dump off trying to get the running back into space, but because of the drop, nothing happening that time for the Chargers. Clock stops with 101 seconds left until halftime.
Yeah, Alexander was the 3rd option. It was one that he didn't put a little zip on it, and Alexander wasn't able to handle it. Now you're facing that 3rd and somewhat manageable 3rd and 7, and looks like Topeka West wants to talk about it.
Topeka West is going to take a timeout. We are going to take it with them. 1:41 to go until halftime. Junction City with a 43-7 lead over Topeka West. You're listening to special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW. Third down and 7 for Topeka West. A throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. Malachi Berg going over the middle. He was looking for Javion Lee, who's not able to haul it in, slashing across the middle of the field at about the 45-yard line. 95 seconds left until halftime, and Topeka West will talk things over on the sideline.
And boy, that was open too. Javion Lee found a seam in between the zone as far as the defense is concerned, but just a little low and couldn't pick it up and keep it. That could have been at least about a 20-yard gain.
Gavin Chavez on the field in a punt formation for Topeka West. 2 men deep to return for the Blue Jays. Low snap. Chavez has to pick it up. No rush comes. He's able to get it away, and it is a high kick with almost no distance on it. It bounced at the 40. It's a live ball. It touches the Blue Jay, but Junction City is able to dive back on it. A heads-up play by Chaz Ruffin, a very short punt. It bounces at the 40. That was a punt of about 6 yards in the air at most, but it checks up, hits Ruffin. So it was a live ball, but he's able to dive back on top of it at the 40. A net of 5 yards on the kick.
Yeah,
and Junction City takes over.
That's one Ruffin didn't expect where he was to have the football hit him, and once he did, he pounced on it very, very quickly.
1 minute, 26 seconds to go until halftime. Junction City has it at the Topeka West 40-yard line, leading by 36. Corey in the gun. We've got a flag behind the play and a sweep handoff to TJ Jones. Gets to the outside, past the 40, past the 35, near the 30, and eventually he is ushered out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. But we've got 2 flags on the play well behind where the action was taking place. some sort of illegal procedure penalty is at least one of those flags. Second one came in later. Our white hat ready to give us the signal.
We hope.
And Junction City is on the move backwards.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Illegal motion, that penalty's declined. Holding, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So 2 penalties against the Blue Jays, and that's a nice little bonus for the Topeka West defense. That will back the ball up from the 40-yard line. The hold happened behind the line of scrimmage. So Junction City now takes over with a 1st and 21 from their own 49. A loss of 11 on the penalty. Corey in the shotgun, 2-by-2 receiver set, 1 running back in the backfield. Corey will throw it out to Jones on the bubble screen to the left, gets back to midfield, is pulled down by about the nameplate, or what would have been the nameplate had there been one on the jersey, right above the numbers at the 47-yard line. That time, a gain of 4 yards on the swing pass. 2nd down and 17 now for the Blue Jays. 1:11 to go until halftime. Corey waits to get the signal in from the sideline. He's got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 receiver and his running back to the left. Corey puts his hands up, gets a good snap this time. He drops back deep. Now he has to step up, throws it short underneath. He completes the pass to Jones at the 40, the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 7. 3rd down and 10 upcoming for the Blue Jays. Nothing going deep. Good time by Topeka West secondary to shut off all options deep down the field because Corey wanted to chuck that one.
Yeah, he was wanting to go deep. Had to go to about his 3rd option in P.J. Jones.
Down to 43 seconds and counting on the clock in the first half. Trips to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Ball in the far right hash. Corey takes a snap, designed boot to the right. He chucks it to the sideline, completes a pass. No! It squirts through the arms of his intended target and ends up an incompletion. Sidney Walker, his first target of the game. The 6-foot senior wide receiver can't hold on to it. Clock stops with 30 seconds and a little change on it. 4th down and 10 for the Blue Jays, leading by 36.
It's the old adage, catch it with your hands, not with your body. As he let it go through his body and right through his hands, it falls incomplete.
Quavion Gilmore getting his first 2 snaps of the game. He is now in at running back for Junction City. Corey takes a snap on 4th and 10. Bootleg to the left, throws it down the field, and he is able to get it to his receiver.
He juggled.
Trey Goggins bobbles the ball off his own knee, hauls it back in, but he's out of bounds. That's an incompletion, and that's a turnover on downs in just 4 plays for the Junction City offense. So you have to count that one, Greg, as a win for Topeka West.
Yep. Goggins had the football, but then, yeah, exactly right. Hit him in the knee. Didn't have control of it as he went out of bounds. They would have had the first down, but Goggins not able to pull it in. So actually 2 drops, well, 1 drop and 1 juggle on that play for Junction City receivers.
24 seconds to go in the first half. Topeka West with the ball at its own 40. Does still have a timeout, so you've got the option of taking a shot down the field here. 2 wide receivers will line up to the right of the quarterback, Berg, who's got 2 running backs, 1 on either side of him in the backfield, and 1 wide receiver to the left as well. Berg takes the snap, and they'll run up the clock instead with a handoff to Alexander, but Alexander gets past the 45, bounces to the outside. He's pulled down by the ball on the outside of the play. Siddiqui Smith comes up and makes the stop at the 48-yard line, so a gain of 8, but Topeka West is in no rush, and that is how our first half is going to come to a close. A 36-point halftime lead for the Junction City Blue Jays, 43-7. That is 30 unanswered points for Randall Zimmerman's Blue Jays in the second quarter. That will send us to our halftime show here on 580 WIBW and WIBW AM Topeka. Coming up on our halftime show, we will have a scoring and drive summary from the first half. We will also get you the statistical update from the first half and get you some keys to the second half of our game tonight as well. Junction City 43, Topeka West 7. You're listening to special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Oh, how we love our Kansas weather. Big coats and snow boots one day.
FM News 104.9.
Welcome back to Hummer Sports Park. Brendan Dworzinski and Greg Akagi with you in the booth. Marco Marquez is our field reporter. Steve Ollinghouse is our producer-engineer tonight for special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIVW. And at halftime, the Junction City Blue Jays up 43-7 over the Topeka West Chargers. 30 unanswered points by Junction City in this one. Topeka West started off the first half with the ball. They went 3 and out on their first possession of the game. Not so much the same for the Junction City offense. 2 plays, 66 yards later, and DJ Giddens was in for the touchdown, his third rushing touchdown of the year, third in the last 2 weeks. The next possession for Topeka West would fare much better. It was a 10-play drive. They turned it over on downs, moved the ball effectively, though, ate up over 5 minutes off the clock, but they weren't able to cash in. The next drive for Junction City, they were able to score. They got up 13-0 in this one, following a 13-yard touchdown pass to Marcelo Bussi from quarterback Andrew Corey, the first of his 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Topeka West would respond with a touchdown of its own, a 2-yard touchdown run on the 6th play of a 3-minute drive by Xavier Alexander, his first touchdown of the season, made it 13-7. That drive was set up by a phenomenal kickoff return by sophomore Jordan Mark, who was great on special teams in the first half. But after that point, it was an avalanche for the defense of Topeka West, caused by the offense of Junction City. The next 3 drives, all touchdowns for Junction City and the Blue Jays. In fact, their first 5 drives of the first half were taken for scores. Touchdown passes by Andrew Corey from a 65-yard out. Second week in a row, they've had a 65-yard hookup between Corey and Russell Wilkie. 1 drive later, they're able to score on a 19-yard pass to Wilkie, and then Corey hits his tight end Nathan Green for his first touchdown of the year, a 5-yard strike to make it 43-7. Additionally, in there, midway through the second quarter, just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, a blocked punt by Junction City's Javon George, who also had an interception in the first half. He blocked that punt, picked it up the 4-yard line, and took 2 steps into the end zone for 6. That brings us to our 43-7 score, the 36-point margin at halftime. And with all that accounted for, let's go to my partner, Greg Akagi, for the statistical recap from the first half.
Well, it's indicative of the score for Junction City. 10 rushes for 100 yards. Andrew Corey, a great night. 14 of 18 passing for 237 yards and 4 touchdowns. So 28 total plays for 337 yards. Juxtaposition that, Junction City had 10 rushes, 18 passes. Topeka West has 18 rushes and 10 passes. 18 rushes for 91 yards, and Mike Berg for Topeka West. Malachi is 6 of 10 passing for just 28 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. So 28 total plays for Topeka West as well for 119 yards. As far as individuals are concerned, DJ Giddens, he's the big story so far for Junction City. He has 8 carries for 110 yards, and he's had that first touchdown of the night. As far as Corey, as we mentioned, 14 of 18 passing, 237 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's thrown 2 touchdowns to Wilkie and 1 each to Nathan Green and Marcelo Bussi. Wilkie, another big night, 6 receptions, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Bussi, 3 receptions for 30 yards. Nathan Green, 2 receptions for 25 yards. TJ Jones, 2 receptions for 11 yards. And Trey Goggins, 1 reception for 38 yards. As far as Topeka West, Xavier Alexander, 7 rushes for 29 yards. Malachi Berg, who's had success running the football, he has 5 carries for 39 yards. Javian Lee, 3 rushes, 28 yards. Tyrell Reed, 3 rushes for 0 yards. We mentioned Berg is 6 of 11 passing. My apologies there. 6 of 11 passing for 28 yards and the 1 interception. Michael Glenn, 3 receptions for 11 yards. Trey Alexander, 1 reception for 5 yards. And Julian Marins, 2 receptions for 12 yards overall. So Topeka West, 29 plays they actually ran. for 119 yards. Junction City, 28 total plays, over 10 yards per offensive play, 337 yards of total offense so far for Junction City.
Blue Jays are moving the ball effectively. That is what we have come to know from this year's Junction City squad. We'll talk more about the second half of this game and take a look at the upcoming schedule for the rest of the week after this break. You're listening to halftime coverage of special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Jill, why didn't you tell the class what you did this week? I'm more.
WIBW, Topeka, FM News, 104.9.
Welcome back to Hummer Sports Park. Brendan Dworzinski and Greg Akagi with you. Halftime show for the Invista Credit Union Special Edition high school football coverage tonight on 580 WIBW. And Invista's College Roadmap will guide you through finding your true cost of college, comparing schools, discovering local scholarships and financial awards, and even more. InvistaCollegeRoadmap.com. All right, Greg, let's look ahead to the second half. It's a 36-point deficit right now. That is tough to make up in a single half if you're Topeka West. What are some signs that Coach Ryan Kelly should be looking for in terms of improvement for his group coming up in the next 24 minutes?
I think it's just the little things, like the kick return they had in the first half, the ability to score in the red zone in the first half. That's their only score, as a matter of fact, having that short field. But I think right now, even though you could sit there and really yell at them for some of the mistakes that they made, I think he went in there and probably said, hey, look, we're down, but here are some things we can do. We've had some success doing this. We've had some success doing this. You look at it, they were averaging close to 5 yards a rush in the first half. So they've had some success. They've had some mistakes. But I think you sit there and go, we need to build on that. Chances are you're going to get some of the younger players who are going to eventually play in this game, more than likely in the fourth quarter. It depends on if the running clock gets kicked off as well. The big thing, too, knowing that you're short as far as personnel is concerned, they have one injury. You don't want any more injuries to where you don't have the players that you need going into the next 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, too, which is so important because, unfortunately, I've been here long enough. I've seen teams like Topeka West and Highland Park literally have about 30 players, and that's it, even less than 30 players, just because of injuries for what they're able to do.
And maintaining those numbers is a crucial part of building these programs back up that have struggled for the last several years.
Without a doubt. The blueprint to that is what Walt Alexander, the former head coach at Topeka High, was able to do. It was a struggle probably the first 3 or 4 seasons just because he knew he needed to build up the numbers. Well, that really starts in the summertime, getting the kids to come into the weight room and getting better, learning football, getting stronger, getting faster to be able to do that. If a coach has a blueprint to do it fast, every coach in the land will want that blueprint. Well, there's no fast way to do it. And I think that's one of the things that it's a slow process, not only for Ryan Kelly, Mike Forster at Highland Park. We're adding them into the mix because of the struggles that they have had. But you don't have to go back too far for Topeka West. This program has had success. They are capable of having that success. You just got to start building on those steps to be able to get to that competitive side, to get to the Junction City, the Manhattan, the Seaman, the Hayden levels in the Centennial League.
This is not our only game coming up on our airwaves this week, because tomorrow night is the Invista Credit Union 550 Preps Game of the Week, and it is going to be a great one up in North Topeka at Seaman Stadium. Don Pierce Field, the site of Manhattan versus Seaman. 2-2 versus 3-1. That is going to be a dandy. We will have pregame coverage for you beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night, with kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on 580 WIBW. Myself, Marco Marquez, as well as Mark Elliott will be on the call of that one tomorrow night. Plenty of action around the city tomorrow, including Topeka High versus Highland Park, the renewal of that long-standing rivalry right back here at Humber Sports Park tomorrow night. Washburn Rural will be taking on Emporia on the road tomorrow night. Washburn Rural also hosting another game between DeSoto and McPherson. Those two teams, they're playing each other as a rescheduled game. They wanted to meet in the middle. They're playing at Washburn Rural tomorrow night.
Here's another discombobulated one with Free State. 2 weeks ago, they had to cancel their game against Mill Valley because of the COVID situation, and Free State didn't have enough players. Well, this week, they were supposed to play Bishop Carroll down in Wichita, but because of the USD 497 travel restrictions on the number of miles you could travel, they weren't allowed to do that. So they said, okay, we need a game. Well, guess who they're playing? They're going to play Mill Valley this week. They're able to get it scheduled. For the ADs, I feel for them because I don't know, and you've seen the same tweets I've had. I don't know how many have sat there and gone, hey, due to COVID issues, not only maybe with their team, but with the team they're playing, we need a game on this Friday, or we need a game next Friday. It's actually, Tonganoxie actually had their game canceled this week, and they're thinking next week they're going to need a game as well. So, I mean,
it's crazy how quickly these things change.
It just, it affects one team. No, it affects two teams. It could affect three teams. It could affect four teams to be able to do that. And that's the crazy thing about it. And it's all over the map of things trying to get that done. Hayden's another example. Their last two wins are against opponents that, as of a month ago, neither one of them were on the schedule. In Coffeyville, where they went down to Coffeyville, and Hayden, they played there a couple of weeks ago, too.
It has been crazy trying to keep up with all these changes. We're doing our best to make sure we get you all that information. And coming up tomorrow night right here on 580 at 10 o'clock, you will hear all the scores from the games that do go on across the state on the Kansas Information Network High School Scoreboard Show.
You will hear it live.
Yes, we will hear it live on 580 coming up tomorrow for the first time all year, with the Royals season coming to a close. Here in this game tonight that we have at Humber Sports Park, 43 for Junction City, 7 for Topeka West. We'll be back with the second half after this. You're listening to Special Edition High School Football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Junior League of Topeka.
Welcome back to special edition high school football coverage on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9, presented by Invista Credit Union. Let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Marco Marquez. Marco, 36-point deficit here at the half. What were some of your biggest takeaways from the opening 24 minutes?
One of the storylines that you and both Greg have talked about during your broadcast is the frustrations on the defensive side for Topeka West. Fortunately enough, while I'm standing out today in the stands, I can hear what I'm assuming is some Topeka West assistant coaches, especially on the deep when the Chargers are on defense, yelling down from the stands up here, messages, audibles down onto the field. In fact, on that second touchdown scored by Junction City, right when Topeka West had to burn their second timeout of the first half, one of the assistant coaches was yelling, "Where is my cornerback?" And it sounds like that right there, he didn't have who he wanted out there for that particular defensive play. Some of the things I am hearing tonight, just a lot of audibles, switches from the defensive coordinators, the frustration from there on that side. Hopefully the Chargers come out and look for some positive notes in the second half as they look to cut this deficit against the Blue Jays.
Appreciate that insight, Marco. And I think that's part of the developing process for a team that is trying to rebuild itself from its very foundation up. And you mentioned it, Greg. Sometimes you have to bring people in and you just have to teach kids how to play football. You know, you might know the sport, but you don't really know how to play the sport. Sometimes it's as simple as getting the right personnel on the field.
Yeah, and it's absolutely being engaged because of the fact that chances are someone is not out there. It's because they're not totally engaged in the game. That's even like when they did the kickoff to start the game, Topeka West had got the ball first, but they only had 10 players on the field. So it's kind of like, wait, you should know you're on the kickoff team. You should be out there. Or the kick return team, you should be out there.
The mental part of the game is such a big part of it as we get ready for the second half. Gavin Chavez out on the field for Topeka West to kick it away. Kicking from right to left as you listen. It's a high, short kick. Fair catch called for by Trey Goggins at the Junction City 29-yard line. No return on that one. Just 1 second ticks off the clock. And that is where the Junction City Blue Jays, with their 36-point lead, 43-7, will start the second half.
I would think if we're Junction City, depending on how this quarter goes, if it's expected where they would score and get this to a running clock, that more than likely you would see their number one offense out here for most, if not all, the third quarter.
They come out with the starters on the field, the 2x2 wide receiver set. The running back is DJ Giddens to the left of the quarterback, Andrew Corey, in the gun. Corey, no drop back after taking the shotgun snap. He throws it deep down the field, completes a pass all the way up to the 45-yard line. Trey Goggins on the first play of the second half. He's left alone all the way up on the Topeka West 45. He's pushed ahead to the 43-yard line. First down, Junction City.
28 yards, and they're right back up to the line.
They're hurrying up. They want to score quickly. It's a sweeping handoff to the outside. It's Christian Tabora, the wide receiver, gets to the sideline and is forced out at the 41. A gain of just 2 yards on the first down sweep. 11:42 to go here in the third quarter. Just starting off this third period. Junction City moving quickly, already up 36. High snap to Corey, bootleg to the right. He's looking down the field. He pumps once, now throws deep, underthrows his man, Wilkie. Wilkie was all alone. There was a defender behind him, one in front of him, but he had plenty of space on either side. But the throw comes in a bit low and is incomplete. Third down and 8 approximately for Junction City.
Boy, he had the right idea, but trying to throw on the run, if you don't get your feet even quite set properly, even throwing on the run, that's going to happen. You're going to end up throwing it short.
24 seconds off the clock in the third. 3 wide receivers set to the right, 1 to the left. Corey takes the snap. Shallow roll to the left. Throws to the outside, completes the pass. Has Goggins open along the left sideline, and a nice pass by Corey to move the chains up to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 10 and a first down for the Blue Jays. Junction City hurrying right back to the line of scrimmage. High snap for Corey. He's able to knock it down. Has to roll to his right, throw underneath to Wilkie, who makes the catch. That is a big loss on the pass play. The throw is low. Tackle made on the play by Suki Fomasani for Topeka West. A loss of 4 on the pass play. desperation for Corey. Throws it low to Wilkie, and he has no room to run. Now 2nd down and 14 for the Blue Jays. 2x2 wide receivers in the formation. Corey rolls left, throws, has an open man. Once again, it's Goggins inside the 25, down to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 13 yards on that completion. Junction City not wasting any time. They sprint up to the line once again. 3rd down and short from the 31-yard line. They only need about a yard to move the chains once again. 10:37 on the clock in the 3rd. High snap, it's a give to Giddens. Angles to the left, and he is swarmed. He didn't get it. An excellent play that time by the front 4 for Topeka West. Credit to Martin Gray and a couple of the other defensive linemen who get in on a gang tackle of Giddens. 4th down and short now.
Yeah, good penetration by the defensive line. And they got to Giddens before he could turn. And now, he probably lost a yard on that play.
Yeah, they took away a yard of field position, so the ball is marked at the 22-yard line of Topeka West. 4th down and 2 minutes off the clock in the 3rd. Corey takes it, throws it behind the line of scrimmage to Giddens. Giddens turns it up, gets to the 20, 1st down and more, to the 15, to the 10, and is bumped out of bounds near the 5-yard line.
Oh, they actually said he went out at the 9. Interesting mark, or 8.
Different officials marking the ball in different places. They are going to finally settle on the 8-yard line.
And since that was thrown backwards, it's a run, so 14 yards on the run.
And a quick snap now, another high snap to Corey. He has to bat it down. It's a loose ball back at the 9-yard line. Junction City gets it again. The center quarterback exchange between Anson Jacobson and Andrew Corey just off kilter in this game so far.
Yeah, that's something they're going to have to address because later in the season, that's the last thing you want is a consistently bad snap or bad snaps on the gun from your center to your quarterback.
2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line after the 1-yard loss. Junction City has 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 running backs in the backfield in the pistol with Corey. Corey will give it off, fakes the handoff, throws it back over the middle, completes the pass to Marcelo Bussey. Touchdown, Junction City. An excellent fake at the mesh point by the quarterback. Corey throws his 5th touchdown pass of the game and is able to hook up with Marcelo Bussey for 6. Make it 49-7, Junction City with the lead.
And the 5th touchdown pass of the night for Andrew Corey.
Field on to attempt the extra point. Goggins to hold. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It's a 50-burger for Junction City. They're up 50-7 over Topeka West. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Special Edition High School Football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Jefferson County Land Auction Tuesday morning, October 20th, 10 o'clock, Doubletree by Hilton, 200 McDonald Drive, Lawrence, Kansas. Farmers National Company. Fred.
$50-7, Junction City with the lead over Topeka West. They kick it away after the touchdown pass from Corey to Bussey. And Topeka West is going to take over after the play is made. Deep in its own territory. Call it down officially. Need to wait for the mark at the 30-yard line. That's where the Chargers will take over. Let's go to our field reporter, Marco Marquez, with an injury update.
Yeah, Corey Colts, senior running back, defensive back. He is still out on the sidelines. Football gear is off. It looks like as though his day is done. 3 trainers were looking after him in the first half. It looks like now he's sitting alone there. Just looks like his night is over for Corey Holt.
Thank you for that, Marco. So an update on our one injury from the first half. Now 1st down and 10 for Topeka West from its own 30-yard line. A handoff up the middle on 1st down. Decent gain of about 3 yards on the carry. Yardage picked up that time by Tyrell Reed. 2nd down and 7 now for the Chargers after the 3-yard gain. Under 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It is a 43-point game. And again, the reminder of the mercy clock rule. At any point in this half, if the margin hits 45 points or more, the running clock will be triggered and will stay on for the rest of the game. It would only stop for timeouts and injuries. Play clock is down to 8, now down to 7. High snap, Malachi Berg takes it, will hand it off to Xavier Alexander, sweeping from right to left, gets upfield, breaks through one tackle, passes the 40. That's a 1st down and more for Topeka West, up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards by Xavier Alexander on the shotgun sweep handoff. 1st down for the Chargers.
You know, when Alexander's been able to get in, has some open space, he's been able to make some nice moves and get some nice yardage. 39 yards on 8 carries tonight for Alexander.
4 minutes off the clock in this period. 50-7, Junction City with the lead. Topeka West trying to get on the board one more time. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Double barrel shotgun set with the ball centered between the hashes for Berg. Takes the snap after a jump, throws it outside, hits Michael Glenn, who gets to the 45, gets through an ankle tackle to the 50, and is bumped out near the 45-yard line. That's another 12 yards on the swing pass to the outside wide receiver Glenn, and the junior is able to pick up 12 and a 1st.
That is the longest completion on the night for Malachi Berg. 4th reception by Glenn.
Glenn now with 9 catches on the season in the first 2 games for the Chargers, who of course missed their first 3 of the year due to Unified School District 501 canceling football activities for the first 3 weeks for Topeka West, Topeka High, and Highland Park. Now the Chargers have a 1st and 10 from the Junction City 45. It's an option toss to the outside, and Reed, he cuts it upfield, gets to the 40, gets bumped by a wall of Blue Jays and swallowed up, goes down, but a nice gain of 5 on the 1st and 10 run.
That's what you'd like to see. Reed getting 5 on the play, his longest gain of the night. It's been a rough go for him, just 5 carries for just 8 yards.
The defensive front for Junction City, led by Rudy Vargas, Judah Peterson, and Elijah Clark Boyd, have been giving the offensive line of Topeka West fits tonight, despite more size for the Topeka West starters. 2nd down and 5. Snap to Berg. He looks left, throws a slant to Michael Glenn, and Glenn's got it. His 5th catch of the game. He slides down at the 31-yard line. That's 9 more yards, and another 1st down for Topeka West. And now, Greg, the Chargers are moving the ball efficiently through the air.
Yeah, doing a good job. Short patterns. Berg finding the open receivers. Berg is 8 of 13 on the night for 49 yards. No touchdowns and 1 interception.
Chargers on the move, trailing by 43, 50-7, 6:40 on the clock. 2 receivers to the right, and we've got a false start against Topeka West. It was Glenn, the wide receiver to the left. Got a little antsy, took off before the snap, and that will back the Chargers up 5 yards and will also earn Glenn a brief visit to the bench. He's replaced on the play by Cayman Jones.
3rd penalty of the night for 20 yards. Yep, and Jones into the ball game.
So now a tougher situation for the Chargers, facing a 1st down and 15 with under 6.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. A slow, methodical drive, but an effective one to this point for Ryan Kelly's group. 2 running backs in the backfield in the shotgun set, 2 receivers to the right. Berg will throw it that way. He's able to complete a pass to Trey Alexander. Alexander catches it at the 37, lunges ahead past the 35, and gets to the 33-yard line. So in the end, a gain of just 3. A lot of effort on that one by Alexander. And it is 2nd down and 12 now for the Chargers.
Trying to get that blocker out in front. That's where you have either twins or trips to one side. Pull one of the receivers back, have the others block. That time Junction City had 2 players over there, still managed, though, to get a 3-yard gain out of it.
Berg back behind center. He's got 2 receivers to the wide side left. Ball is on the far right hash. Blitz comes from the right side. Berg steps away from it. Now he angles off to the left. He's going to keep it and run. Gets up to the 30-yard line, trying to outrun defenders to the sideline, to the 25, up near the 20-yard line. Malachi Berg, the sophomore quarterback, pulls it down, keeps it, and picks up 12 yards on the run.
Smart play. Knew when to get it. The first key, though, was avoiding the pressure, avoiding the blitz, ducking his shoulder, getting out of the way of that, got flushed out of the pocket, but knew when to put the jets on to get that gain, and very close to a first down, about a half yard short.
Yeah, officials are discussing it. The chains are on the far sideline. The play happened on the near one. A heady run by Malachi Berg. And Greg, one definite compliment for the sophomore quarterback. He has great awareness in the pocket. He knows the precise time when to tuck it or when to stay in and throw it. And he showed it again that time to pick up possibly a first down for Topeka West.
6 rushes, 51 yards.
Chain gang coming across the field now to measure.
Where it's marked, I think it's going to be short. It's going to be close.
The extension of the chains. Oh, this is millimeters at most.
That's short.
Our head ref put up his 2 fingers a few inches apart. And, Greg, I don't even know if it was that many inches. It's about a chain length and a half at most.
Yep, third and about 4 inches.
Now you want to talk about the whole playbook being open. You've got a quarterback who can run, a big physical player, 6'2", 185 for Berg. You've got a couple running backs you've got confidence in, including Alexander, the bigger of the 2 between him and Reed. Include Javion Lee in that group as well. Alexander, the biggest and the heaviest of the bunch. 5:27 on the clock as the chain gang gets back off the field. Junction City leading by 43, 50-7, but Topeka West trying to add its second touchdown of the ball game. They come out in shotgun formation, 2 backs in the backfield. Reed and Alexander, left and right respectively. Glenn to the left side, he's the lone receiver there. 2 wide receivers, Marins and Trey Alexander to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Refs blow the whistle to start the play clock, which is now down to 20. Berg goes under center. Berg waits, tries the quarterback keeper. He gets stood up, but gets a second wind. Breaks through the defensive line, gets to the 15. That's a first down for Topeka West. What a tremendous play that time by Malachi Berg. Breaks through a tackle in the backfield, sprints ahead, call it a gain of about 6 yards and a first down for the Chargers.
It's not Le'Veon Bell-esque, but it was kind of the same concept where he just didn't dive into the pile. He waited, bounced off of the pile, and was able to get that extra yardage for the first down.
Another smart run that time and an excellent call as well from the Topeka West sideline with 5 minutes to go in the third. Same formation for the Chargers, 1st and 10 from the 15. Snap to Berg, takes a 3-step drop, throws back over the middle, completes a pass to Julian Marins. He's at the 5, leans ahead to the 4. 1st and goal now for the Chargers at the 4-yard line. Crisp pass over the middle on the slant by Marins. Nice pass by Berg. 1st and goal Chargers.
Third reception of the night for Marins. 10 of 15 passing for Berg. 63 yards on the night, but driving them down 1st and goal.
Slightly ahead of his yards per attempt average from last week. Now 3 wide receivers to the right on 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Berg takes it, sweeping handoff. Tyrell Reed trying to get to the right side corner. Reaches for the pylon. Touchdown, Chargers. Topeka West on the board for the second time tonight. 50-13 now the lead for Junction City. And Greg, that was an excellent drive from start to finish for Topeka West, even overcoming a penalty midway through to get back to pay dirt.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. It was consistent. It was a good mix of run and pass too. So Coach Kelly stuck with the game plan and it was rewarded with the touchdown.
Here comes the kick by Chavez, and the extra point is blocked right at the line of scrimmage. It is no good on the tipped extra point. Both teams have missed one at this point. That will send us to a timeout. Junction City with a 37-point lead over Topeka West. You're listening to special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
This is Bill Snyder, former head football coach for Kansas State University and honorary chairman of the 580 WIBW Wildcat Challenge to tackle cancer. Cancer takes a toll on so many of us and our loved ones. Thanks to research, many people survive it, but more work.
4:19 to go in the third quarter after a Topeka West touchdown. They ate up 4 minutes and 42 seconds off the clock. It was capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run by Tyrell Reed. Now the kickoff going the other way by Gavin Chavez is fair caught by Trey Goggins of Junction City at the Blue Jays 29-yard line. No, they'll give them the 30-yard line action. Nope, now they're going to move the ball back again. 29-yard line for Junction City. First down and 10 for the Blue Jays.
So the Junction City offense, even though they scored, had some inconsistencies, had some mistakes. They come back out, though. 293 yards passing by Andrew Corey in this game so far.
He comes out with 3 wide receivers to the left of the formation. That's the wide side of the field as the Blue Jays move from left to right across your radio dial, up by 37. 1 wide receiver to the right is Bussey. Snap to Corey. He will hand it off to DJ Giddens, who's got a hole on the left side of the line up to the 35 where he meets a defender. Tackle made by Keontae Parker. The defensive lineman drops in coverage and has to make a physical tackle up at the 38-yard line. Gain of 9 to set up a second down and 1 for the Blue Jays.
This may sound funny, but I think he'll get chewed out on that play because he kind of juked and jived and just didn't flat out run over somebody because he was that close to getting the first down.
And he'll get a breather. Will Giddens. Quavion Gilmore back into the game. His third snap of the contest. Trips bunch to the left on second down and 1. And the handoff goes to Gilmore, and he is swarmed in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Tackle made that time by Elliott Cooper. He's been a busy man today for Topeka West. That is a loss of about a half a yard for Junction City. Another third down and short for the Blue Jays with 3:24 to go in the third.
Yeah, Giddens back into the game. Let's see if they'll go with the run or third and short. They've had success on short passes too.
Giddens and Gilmore in this time. Throw behind the line is to Giddens. Gets to the outside of the 40. Turns the field. 1 man to beat. 40, 30, 20, and he's pushed out of bounds deep down the field. Trey Alexander, the last line of defense for the Topeka West defense, is able to bump Giddens out of bounds, but not before a huge gain by the senior running back for Junction City. Mark him out at the 17-yard line.
45 yards. Officially, that was a run thrown back to Giddens. So 178 yards rushing on 12 carries for Giddens tonight.
He has a couple big runs in this one. Has a 45-yard touchdown. Now another 45-yard run along the far left sideline. 3:02 on the clock. Play clock is down to 20 seconds. Junction City moving the ball once again, leading by 37. Here comes the snap. We've got backups into the game for Junction City. That includes the backup quarterback in for his first snap, David Roll, 6'2 junior, getting one of his few moments of action here tonight. Other starters still on the field, although Russell Wilkie will get a breather after a gain of 7 on a first down carry to the outside.
Yep, that was T.J. Jones with the carry.
Under 3 to play. Clock is stopped after Jones was ushered out of bounds. 2nd and 3. Junction City can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. It's another handoff going up the middle. It's Gilmore. Gilmore cruising to the end zone. Breaks the tackle at the goal line. Touchdown, Junction City. It's Quavion Gilmore. His first touchdown of the game. His first touchdown of the season. The junior is able to punch it in. 56-13, Junction City. Extra point coming in what is now a 43-point game. Here comes Field for the extra point attempt. The snap is high, but the hold by Goggins is down. It's a line drive kick end over end, and it is no good. Off to the side of the goalpost, no good. So that's 2 missed extra points for Fields tonight. And that will send us to another timeout. 2:52 to go in the third. 56-13, Junction City with the lead. You're listening to special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
You like your burger medium well, your peanut butter crunchy, and your mattress firm. It's the little things that make you, you. And you deserve a Medicare plan that fits your unique needs. That's why United Healthcare is offering more plan options than ever, so you can find just the right plan for you. Call 1-800-362-8715. That's 1-800-3...
Junction City up 56-13 over Topeka West, kicking off after a 10-yard touchdown run by Quavion Gilmore, and the kick goes out of bounds. That is the third time tonight that a kickoff from one of the two teams has gone over the boundary. So a first down and 10 at the 35-yard line for Topeka West.
Well, you have to assume that Berg will still quarterback at least this drive.
The running clock is not in effect yet. The margin for that is 45 points. This game is currently at 43. If at any point Junction City does pass that margin, though, the game will stay in a running clock the rest of the way. First down and 10 for Topeka West. Berg takes a snap. It's a screen pass to the outside, and Glenn catches it at the 36, runs backwards a little bit, and is forced out of bounds. Nothing doing on that screen pass to Glenn outside. Topeka West has run that play to the left a couple of times. Give Glenn credit for 1 yard and nothing more after that. Second down and 9 now for the Chargers. A lot of short completions in this game for Malachi Berg, trying to get in a rhythm. The handful of deep shots he's taken have either fallen incomplete, and one of them was actually picked off by Javon George for his 4th pick of the year.
Yeah, Javon George has an interception and a punt block and return for a touchdown tonight.
Snap to Berg. He looks left the whole way, throws low for Glenn, and Glenn has it bounce between his hands off his face mask into the turf. Incomplete pass. You can probably credit that one as a drop for Glenn. And with 2:42 to go in the third period, it is third down and 9 for Topeka West from its own 36-yard line.
Yeah, even though it was thrown low, it went right through the hands of Glenn, hit him in the helmet. Definitely a drop overall. He's had a lot of balls thrown to him tonight, too.
Javion Lee, the running back in the game, he splits out to the right. 3 receivers on that side of the formation. That's the wide side of the field with the ball on the near left hash. 2 receivers to the left as well. That includes Michael Glenn. High snap to Berg. He takes a 3-step drop in the pocket. Now it's a jump pass over the middle. Complete to Lee, and no! As he goes down to the ground, he can't hold on to the ball. He was across midfield, and he held on to that. That would have been a gain of at least 17 or 18 yards. Instead, it is a back-to-back drop situation for the Chargers, and Topeka West will have to punt again.
And so much of that is where he throws it at. It's a little bit high, but Brendan, you know as well as I, and Coach Kelly will talk about it, that's a catchable football and should have been caught.
Punt coming for Topeka West. It's Gavin Chavez on the field once again. He's been busy since the first quarter. 2:36 on the clock here in the third. Gets a signal from his shield, Xavier Alexander. Good snap to him. Gets a boot into it. A side-winding kick that will be caught at the 41-yard line on the run by TJ Jones of Junction City. And essentially his momentum, no actual running, is what will carry him up to the 44-yard line. First and 10 from that point for the Blue Jays. And with that, we will take a brief moment for station identification. You are listening to Special Edition High School football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW.
Stay connected with the news you need from 580 WIBW Topeka, WIBWNewsNow.com, and FM News 104.9.
Brendan Dworzinski and Greg Akagi with you at Hummer Sports Park. Junction City on first down, handoff sweeping to the right. Quavion Gilmore, who just scored the last touchdown for Junction City. He is pushed down and out at the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 2 on first down and 10.
Junction City more than likely going to be close to, if not over, 200 yards rushing for this game.
2-by-2 bunch set in the formation. Now TJ Jones comes in motion, takes a sweep handoff going to the left, gets outside the hash, grabbed by the jersey, stays on his feet, gets back to the 45-yard line, is bumped ahead on the tackle, and because of the hit from behind, I think it was Javion Lee and Keontae Parker who laid the wood that time. It actually bounced Jones ahead up to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 3, really by no doing of Jones himself. A third down and manageable, call it 5 yards for Junction City. The backup quarterback, David Rowell, is in the game. And the same formation is out on the field for the Blue Jays, a 2x2 bunch on either side. Reserves all over the field in for Randall Zimmerman's team in a 43-point game. Rowell takes the snap. Speed option going to the right. Tosses it out to Gilmore. Gilmore's got some room to run. He cuts it up. Now bounces back to the outside to the 50, to the 45, and he spins ahead to the 44-yard line. First down, Junction City. With just a shade over 1 minute to go in the third quarter, the Blue Jays are on the move again. That was a gain of 7 on that carry.
Topeka West had a chance to get him before he got the first down, but he spun around, got back to the inside, and was able to squeeze out the yardage to get the first down.
And Gilmore will head off the field a little bit gimpy after that carry. Xavion Felton, most known for his work as a weak side linebacker for the Junction City defense, now in as a running back with 42 seconds on the clock in the period. This time sprint option to the left. Rowell will keep it to the 40, turns up, gets to the 35, and is wrapped up, thrown down with a tackle. The ball popped out at the end of the play. A bunch of bodies around the ball. Junction City believes that it maintained possession. It was Jackson Bush who made the violent tackle on the play on Rowell. And Junction City does maintain possession. Rowell was able to pull it back in at the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 13 after the run and fumble.
Boy, he did get just powered down. Got the ball stripped away, but ended up with that big 13-yard gain.
The final 20 seconds are going to tick off the clock here in the third quarter. Junction City does not need to run another play, and it is not going to do so. With a 43-point lead over Topeka West, 56-13, we will head to the fourth quarter. Put your 4 fingers up. Time for the final 12 minutes. We'll be back with the final period after this. You're listening to Invista Credit Union coverage of Special Edition High School Football on 580 WIBW.
Look up here.
It's a high end over-end kick, taken to the 40-yard line. Look at that wedge. There he goes down the sideline. One man beat. He's past the kicker.
Special edition high school football coverage on 580 WIBW and FM News 104.9, presented by Invista Credit Union. Back with you at Humber Sports Park. Brendan Dworzynski and Greg Akagi with you in the booth. Marco Marquez, our field reporter tonight. Steve Ollinghouse, our producer engineer, back at the 580 studios on Huntoon Hill. Junction City with the ball at the Topeka West 31-yard line, a 1st and 10, moving from right to left across your radio dial as we begin the fourth quarter. The backup quarterback for Junction City, David Rowell, takes a high snap, and he'll keep it. Gets to the 25, to the 20 along the sideline. His momentum takes him a little bit too far to his left. He has to step out of bounds at the 19, but that's a gain of 12 for the backup quarterback on a keeper. First down, Junction City to begin the fourth quarter.
Junction City unofficially 504 yards of total offense through 3 quarters. Topeka West, 196.
Blue Jays come out 6 seconds into the period with 3 wide receivers set to the wide side right of the field. Only receiver to the left is Demarion Sellers. Rowell takes the snap, designed to boot to the right, thinks about tossing right. Now will throw deep down the right sideline, going for the end zone, and the ball is caught. Touchdown, Junction City. It's Sidney Walker along the right sideline in the end zone. That is his first grab, his first touchdown of the season, and Junction City officially breaks the 45-point barrier. It's a 49-point game, 62-13 over Topeka West.
Well, that was a pretty pass. Walker into the corner of the end zone, able to get the 19-yard pass from Rowell.
Extra point by Aiden Field is up, and it is good this time to make it an even 50. 63-13, 11:48 to go. in the fourth quarter. We'll take one more time out. We'll be back after this on special edition high school football coverage presented by Invista Credit Union on 580 WIBW. Welcome back to 580 WIBW FM News 104.9. 11:48 to go in the ball game. Junction City with a 50-point lead, 63-13 over Topeka West. And when this possession starts, the running mercy clock should be in effect. It's a short kick, and the Chargers are able to pick it up at their own 25-yard line. Good return coming now to the outside. It's Washington, who's been busy on special teams for the Chargers. He's bumped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line on the Topeka West side of the field. And officially, the running clock is in effect, 11:30 and counting. That means the clock will only stop the rest of the game if there is an injury or a timeout called by one of the teams, triggered by the 45-point margin, officially a 50-point margin in the lead for Junction City. Good starting field position on this drive for the Chargers.
And really, with the exception of one drive, they've had decent starting position throughout this entire football game.
First down, it's a handoff to Washington, who starts at the middle, angles to the left, gets to the 40, now up to the 45. He's bumped down at the 44-yard line. Solid gain on first down. It's a pickup of 9 for Washington. Dontre Washington. I want to make sure I get his first name correct. So solid gain for him on his first carry of the ball game. Topeka West will move up to the 44, down to just over 10.5 minutes with the running mercy clock in effect. 50-point lead for Junction City. Topeka West last week lost to Seaman by a margin of 59-14, trying to break that total here today. And on the 2nd and 1 carry, once again, it is Washington. Breaks the 45, lunges ahead, gets close to the midfield marker. The nose of the ball will be placed at that stripe. First down and 10 for Topeka West at the 50.
Yeah, 2 solid runs there by Dontre Washington, 15 yards. Topeka West had 132 yards rushing throughout the 3 quarters of the game on 24 carries.
Under 10 to play, 3 wide receivers to the right side of the formation. Berg in the backfield with 2 running backs. It's a handoff on first down and 10. Once again, it's Washington who gets across midfield, but not by much. Gets maybe a few inches beyond the 49 of Junction City. That's a long yard picked up on first down. 2nd down and 9 now for the Chargers.
Yeah, nice stop by Randall Banks Jr., outside linebacker.
Ryan Kelly getting to play in from the Topeka West sideline to Berg and the rest of the offense. Starter still out there for the Chargers. That includes all the wide receivers, Trey Alexander, Julian Marins, and Michael Glenn. They're placed in the formation going from right to left across the field. High snap, Berg throws it to the outside. Trey Alexander has it at the 44-yard line, has to come back to the ball. They'll give him the 45 on the catch. That's a pickup of 4 on the outside for Alexander, who's had a handful of those short comeback routes tonight, Greg. And it sets up a 3rd down and a manageable 5 for the Chargers.
Yeah, for Trey, his 3rd reception of the night for just 12 yards.
One of the best basketball players in the city used his big frame to go up, box out, and get that one. 6'3", 195. Stars for a very good Topeka West basketball program under Rick Bloomquist. 3rd down and 5 now for the Topeka West football team, and Berg's going for it all. Launches deep for Glenn, and Glenn dives out and just can't haul it in near the 10-yard line. Berg throws a pretty pass down the far sideline, but Glenn can't quite haul it in. 4th down coming up for Topeka West as we approach 8 minutes left in the ballgame.
Boy, that was literally inches from an outstanding grab. Boy, they've had that chance tonight. And you can tell, too, really, that's probably the 3rd deep ball he's thrown. They've all been pretty as far as how he threw it. He unfortunately had one that was intercepted.
4th down and 5. Snap to Berg. Berg looking short. We've got a whistle and a flag on the far side of the field. It's a false start called against the Chargers.
Yeah, that's the second one against Michael Glenn. Just went a step early, so he's got 2 of the 4 penalties tonight committed by Michael Glenn, just starting a bit early.
He's been the target on now 3 deep balls thrown by Berg. He's got the speed to beat defenders, and this is a team of wide receivers. Every single starting wide receiver for this Chargers group, Craig, stands at 6'3", 6'3", 180, 6'3", 195, 6'3", 215. They've got size. Just need to work on the hands a little bit, maybe some of these incompletions, and of course the touch from the quarterback as well. You improve just a little bit on each of these things. Some of these long incompletions will end up in big gains. Now on 4th and 10, pressure comes. Berg has to step through the pressure, gets back to the 50. He decides to run, flips it at the last moment for Alexander, but he tossed it over Trey's head and out of bounds. That's an incomplete pass, and that is a turnover on downs with 6:54 to play in the ballgame. Junction City taking over.
Well, the learning process for Berg as well, as he got flushed out of the pocket and hot pursuit against him too, and really had no choice. Just tried to flip it out, trying to avoid the sack, but it was 4th down, and it went for naught for Topeka West.
Again, the running clock is in effect in this one. We're at 6:35 and counting left in the ball game. Backups are in for Junction City, which leads by 50, 63-13. Play clock is down to 15 as the quarterback, David Rowell, who has his first touchdown pass of the season in this game.
And we were missing the tight end.
He's back behind center. Nathan Green sprinting onto the field. He also has a touchdown reception in this game. Rowell takes the snap, it's a sweeping handoff. TJ Jones starts at the middle, bounces out to the right side, gets past midfield, past the 45, is lassoed and brought down. Tackle made at the 42-yard line, a gain of 8. Couple Chargers out on the far sideline to try to make that stop, including Trey Alexander, who went all the way across the field to make the play. And now he is going to limp slightly coming off on the sideline following the 8-yard pickup by Jones. 2nd down and 2 for Rowell and the Blue Jays. He's in the pistol set. Jones is the deep man. Flanking him off to the right is Xavion Felton. 2 receivers to the left, 1 right as well. Low snap. Rowell will hand it off to Jones again. Goes up the middle, and he's got nowhere to go. Tackle made in the middle of the field by Berg. Malachi Berg, he's still in there on the defensive end, and he's making some plays. That's a tackle for loss, a loss of about a half a yard, maybe a full yard. 3rd down and short now coming up for Junction City. Just about 5 minutes left to play in this one. 50-point deficit. Junction City will improve to 4-1 on the year. Topeka West will fall to 0-2. Rowell gets the play call. A little chest pass to the outside, and Jones. Jones tries to get to the corner. He does. Just sweeping by one defender. Gets past the 40-yard line and picks up a 1st down. Give him the 37, so that's 5 yards for Jones on the carry.
Yeah, he's able to turn, and that's always the big thing. You go to the outside, you're eventually going to have to turn, and he did. And he's elusive enough that he was able to slide by, get the 1st down, and a couple of extra yards.
4:25 to play with the clock running. Rowell in the pistol gun. 2 receivers to the short side right, ball in the far right hash. Leans out to get the handoff to Jones, who stumbles as he gets the ball. It's a miracle that he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's where he's down. No gain on the carry by Jones, who has been the featured back here. All 4 plays on this series have gone to the reserve sophomore running back. Been plenty busy here late in the game after the subs came in for the Blue Jays. Under 4 to play in a 50-point contest. Rowell making sure all of his players are in the right position. Same formation. Ball just moved a little bit more to the center of the field on this snap. 2nd down and 10. Another handoff to Jones. Starts in the middle. Now he's going to try bouncing to the left. Gets stood up. Now it's to bounce back to the right. And he is swallowed up in the middle of the field. An excellent play that time by the defensive line of Topeka West. It's led by Berg and a gang of other Chargers to make the stop in the backfield. Back to the 40-yard line. Nice tackle that time to drop Jones for a short loss. Now a 3rd down and 13. Call it 3 yards in the red that time for the Blue Jays. Another shovel pass pitch to the right. Jones turns it up, gets to the 35, to the 30. He's got daylight in front of him. He gets a shove in the back, and it's just a little too hard to knock him off his course. He ends up dipping out of bounds inside the 20-yard line at the 17. 1st and 10, Junction City, after another run by Jones. That's a really nice pickup by the 5'3" sophomore.
Yeah, he is lightning quick too. He's a really good change of pace from what Giddens and Wilkie are able to do running the football, or even Gilmore, who's back out there as well.
Jones now a wing to the right. Quavion Gilmore is the deep man in the pistol. Now Rowell will change the formation a little bit, and Gilmore will line up to the right of the quarterback. 2:15 to play. Rowell hands it off. Gilmore starts to the right, gets bumped back, hits the spin move at the 15-yard line, tries pushing ahead, keeps the legs churning. He's inside the 15 or the 13-yard line. Pick up a 4 for the junior Gilmore. 8th play of the drive coming up. Under 2 minutes left to go. And at this point, the result of this game is academic. Julian Marins slowly coming off the field after that last gang tackle. He has put in solid work throughout the night. 100 seconds left to play now in a 50-point contest. Junction City in the red zone, but has no need to score at this juncture. Rowell waits for the snap, takes it. There's another handoff. Once again, it's Gilmore. Gilmore up the middle, breaks the 10-yard line, gets near the line to gain at the 8. It will depend on the spot. As the clock continues to run, it looks like he will be marked about a yard shy. So a gain of 5 on that run by Gilmore. 3rd down and 1. We are down to 1 minute to play here in week 5. Greg, we've seen this Junction City team now 2 weeks in a row, and they have impressed us both weeks. Last week against Washburn Rural in a much different kind of game, and again here tonight with the quick-paced offense.
Yeah, absolutely. You see it in so many phases on this offense.
Another handoff to Gilmore, who trudges ahead, gets the first down for sure. Initial spot has him just a hair outside the 5-yard line. We are under 35 seconds to play. The game clock is ahead of the play clock, and that means Junction City does not need to run any more plays here in this game today. That short run by Gilmore will be the final play of this one, the final play of a 9-play drive to milk the rest of the clock. The Junction City Blue Jays come to Topeka for the second weekend in a row, and this time around they pick up a 50-point win, 63-13 over the Topeka West Chargers. The Blue Jays, they improved to 4-1 on the season, and 4-0 in Centennial League play. They are atop the table in league play. Topeka West falls to 0-2 on the season, both losses coming in league play to Seaman and now to Junction City. The two teams will exchange waves, helmet salutes, and pleasantries as this game wraps up. The social distancing, COVID-19 style, enforcing that the two teams stay separate on the field after just playing for 48 minutes out there. That's going to do it for this one. That means post-game coverage is coming up next here on 580 WIBW. We will get you a scoring summary from tonight's contest. We'll get you the final stats, and we have a look ahead to tomorrow's action in what should be a great game on our Invista Credit Union 580 Preps Game of the Week. We'll be back in 1 minute with post-game coverage. You're listening to special edition high school football coverage on 580 WIBW, presented